another like coaching tip. And I'm Erin Davis, and I'm here with Caroline Valenska. I'm a therapist, and Caroline is a marketing coach, expert, therapist, practice builder, whisperer. So today we're going to be talking about the Psychology Today referrals. More specifically, if you're a therapist, you've noticed that with Psychology Today, like things have really dropped off, and they've dropped off hard because no kidding, back in 2020, especially 2021, I mean, it was like wildfire. Now it's a ghost town. But we're going to tell you to still keep your Psychology Today profile, and we're going to get into why.
Yep, fantastic. I think that a lot of people are complaining about it. And I think one thing that we should just touch on is the fact that the reason why they're dropping off is just because there's other platforms that are doing a similar job, but also because AI is taking over in a different way. And that's what we really want to get into today.
For real. Yeah. And your clients are becoming more and more savvy and accustomed to AI, like ChatGPT, for example. And what we found within this past week is that Psychology Today referrals are dropping between 77 to 94%, which is crazy. And this is a $29 a month subscription, which is like, okay, sure, not a lot of money, but it really adds up at the end of the day when you've got other bills to pay. It'd be nice to take that $29 and turn it into like a couple of lattes, But anyway, yeah, like as Caroline said, like there's other platforms like Alma and Headway and things like that that are grabbing clients and taking them. So what's happening, clients are going to Chat GPT or whatever AI tool.
Claude, yeah.
Claude for sure. And instead of just asking like, give me a recipe, they're saying, where's a therapist near me that can help me with my anxiety? And Caroline, I've had at least 2 clients find me through AI.
Yeah, exactly. And we had this conversation. Oh, I think I'm getting an echo. We had this conversation about 8 months ago, and I know I've had it with quite a few therapists and coaches over the last couple of months of people saying, I'm going to start doing SEO for my business. And I'm like, no, don't do SEO. Don't do SEO the old way, because SEO is actually going to be dead soon. It's still good, but don't invest a lot of money into SEO the old fashioned way. And that's why today, Erin, you brought up this topic the other day, and I'm like, we need to talk about this because there is such a simple thing that everyone can do today and take action immediately today to make a really big difference. Because like you said, you've actually gotten a couple of clients just recently from it.
Yes.
So it really works. Like if you set this up properly, you can actually get clients coming in, and it doesn't cost you anything once it's set up.
Right. Completely. So again, we're not telling you to cancel your Psychology Today because it could still be worth $29 a month, even if you get one client. But, side note, clients will find you on Psychology Today and then do research. So just because you don't see the direct connection doesn't mean they didn't see you on Psychology Today. Because clients like to vet who they're working with. So anyway, let's talk about the simplest tricks to get found in AI. You want to start off?
Sure. So I think today we want to keep this really short and succinct. And today I just want to talk about one particular way to make that happen really quickly. And I had to think about, what can I teach people that can be done immediately today with no burden and thought process going into like this huge, I've got to think about this for a week to decide how I'm going to do it. You can do this all immediately today. And that is to have an FAQ section on every single page of your website. Now, you might think straight away, well, I've got 300 pages. That might be a little bit of a problem to get done today, but you can at least start with a couple of pages. So your main page is your home page, your about page. Maybe there's a couple of other pages where you can start with. And if you sign up for our toolkit, our lead magnet is in there of the actual FAQs template. So we've done it for you. You jump into the toolkit and we've got a link. I think you've got a link in here or inside your, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, it's there. It's on, sorry? Oh yeah, the toolkit's on the QR code. Download that QR code and then you can get access straight away. And we've done the FAQs for you, but we've also, if you sign up for the Power Zone inside your trial, you get the actual done for you pages. So you can literally set up a page and have this on the bottom all done for you. And all you do is plug in a couple of words and it's done. So what we recommend with this is the way you do it. Of course, you can do this on your own website as well. We do recommend that you just take action straight away and do something. If you do sign up for the Power Zone, if you've got a website already, you do not need to create a new whole website. You can create sub pages, like a subdomain, and have certain pages. So it doesn't have to be that you create a whole new website straight away. What you need to do is have FAQs, and those FAQs have to cover off very specific things. So if you get our toolkit, you will have full instructions. If you can't like take notes right now, you don't need to, but you need to be really specific, because the trick to this is that you write the correct words of what people are actually typing into their AI. You don't want to be doing things like very general words of
Like, what are your hours?
yeah.
Don't do
That's
that.
not usually the first thing that people type in. So you want to do things that you've got to think about who this person is. So someone is sitting there on their ChatGPT, on their Claude, something like that, and they realize that they need a psychologist. Now, Erin, for example, she's very much into OCD. So she wants to be really specific about OCD, because the more specific you are, the more likely people are going to, A, want to work with you. But second of all, ChatGPT and Claude and all the other AI will get your ranking, your listing. They will show your listing if you're very specific. So get specific, but also think about the things that they're asking for. So they're not saying things like, what is OCD? That's not how they work with someone who is a psychologist. They want to know, is there a psychologist in the Bay Area who is specifically able to help me with OCD for hand washing or whatever that might be. So get really specific about it. Now, in our toolkit, we actually explain to you, we give you examples. I'm going to read out a couple of examples here because I do have some.
Okay. Well, while you're getting those examples, I want to say that the reason we're making this connection between AI and your FAQs is that what AI does, it goes out to the internet and searches for answers. And so, yeah,
Sorry, yeah. So if you're looking at AI, like if you're working on, ChatGPT or something like that, the only reason ChatGPT and Claude and all these AI tools have these answers is because they are doing what Google search used to do, but in a much better way. And it's a little bit different. So when we used to do SEO and we would say we're SEOing a page for Google search, we would do it in a certain way because Google would find the information in a slightly different way. For example,
crawl
say
it.
you yeah, and it would say it's the word OCD. What Google would do would go out to websites and say, which website has fresh information about OCD, or we know that website's been looked at lots of times, or that website has the word OCD 400 times. That was the way it used to look for things. Whereas what AI does, it does it a little bit more sophisticatedly, can't even speak today, and it will actually decide, well, that person's asking this particular question, and we want to make sure that specific question is answered exactly. So it's getting right into it, not just like you putting the word OCD on your website 400 times now is not going to work for AI. It's going to look for that particular question. So we have to think like a person who wants to work with you. What would they be asking? And this is where Erin and I talk about it all the time. Knowing your ideal client, their pain points, their desires, what they're actually their limiting beliefs. When you understand that about your clients, then you know the sort of questions they're going to be asking because they're looking for very specific problems being solved. Otherwise, they would just go to Google and say, where is an OCD therapist in my local area? And they'll just get that. But if they're looking on AI, they're getting really specific. So
because they're saying, what can I do about these thoughts? And then you got some other examples.
Yeah. So, for example, just being general about, anxiety in an area or OCD in an area is not going to work. So you want to say, is there a recommended therapist in this area? So your question would be something like, are you recommended in the Texas area, whatever it might be? So you want to get that question into the actual written in a way that sounds like it's you talking in your FAQs, and then you answer it by using that answer, the question into the answer as well. So it gets really specific as well. do you have any other examples?
Yeah, definitely. So people may be asking, can a therapist help me with panic attacks? What would a therapist do for my depression?
Yeah.
Or sometimes people, like, even clients will say to the chat GPT, you are a therapist. Tell me what to do when I have a lot of anxiety, or what should I do if I'm afraid to go on this first date? So
Yeah.
they're like in the flow, and chat GPT, I'm just going to use that example, is already assessing what's going on for the person, and it has that context and that history. And so then it may even suggest to you, like, hey, it sounds like you need some help. Like, I'm serious. It will say,
Yes. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
have you thought about seeing a
You should
therapist?
reach out to someone.
Yeah. And, the person might say, whatever, maybe, I don't know, what do you think? And so it can literally pull up local recommendations, or you can do a search that way. And that's what we're encouraging you to do, is set up your FAQ in a very structured, clear.
Sorry, I've got my child coming in. Ava, I'm gonna go and talk to Valter, please. Could you? Yes. Sorry, not with your roller skates on. No, can you close it, please? Hi, everyone. My daughter is interrupting our call. You need to talk to Valter because I'm on a live call right now and you're interrupting, and everyone on the internet can hear you asking to go roller skating. So can you please, not outside, not while you've got no one holding your hand. No, please close that and go. In 5 minutes, I'm coming. I will help you.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go. We are live. Everyone now knows we're definitely live.
Yeah.
Roller skating, Barbie.
So,
no, but that makes a really, really good point, because like you said, if you're going into a conversation with with your ChatGPT, if this is a potential client and they're asking, like you made a really good point there, I get nervous when I'm going on a first date. So if you think about that and you're a relationship therapist, then having the question just like, do you help relationships, is very broad. But if you go into, if there's an FAQ that says, can you help me with first date anxiety on with therapy, with a relationship, something like that, that's going to be much more specific. And then ChatGPT and Claude is more likely to recommend you as a therapist. So I think location is really important, but also really specific questions that target particular people. So bringing up the fact that, do you help mums after childbirth with new dates? Or do you help women who are over the age of 40? Or do you help people in perimenopause or menopause? And being really specific can make all the difference.
Yeah, and we're suggesting, just as a recap, we're suggesting the FAQ because that is a landing page on your website that's very prominent, and a lot of people will click on the FAQ. And it's something that you can do straight away, and we've already got it. I mean, Caroline's already got it built out for you in our toolkit, versus the old way, which was having to do blogs every week and just hoping Google picks it up and all that. Like, this is something you can do today in literally less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. So just to recap, we do recommend that you have an FAQs page, and then you also have FAQs on the bottom of every page. Now go into our toolkit, you will see in there, I've got a whole section about this, not a long section, but just like really succinct information, what we're talking about, but also some extra finer details. And specifically, you want to have it FAQs on all your pages of your website. So of course that takes time to build up, but start doing that. Make your main pages a priority at the moment. And then your specific pages have different information. So maybe you have a page about OCD and then you're talking about that. Maybe you also talk about anxiety. So then you can have different FAQs for that page. And then what you want to do is get really specific on each page. And then you have a general FAQs page. And then even there you can link to, oh, well, say an FAQ is, do you help anxiety or do you help OCD? Then that FAQ answer can link to the other page that has the information. And one more thing I want to say about it is, one question I get a lot, so this is really important, is that people say, well, I can't think of any FAQs because I've answered all of that on the landing page. And here's the answer to that. People a lot of the time now expect FAQs, so they scroll to that section. So even if you've got sections on your page that this section is about OCD and this section's about anxiety and this section's about relationship, But what you want to do is at the bottom, you summarize with FAQs that even if you have that information at the top of the page, you can still have it in the FAQs as well. So you might feel like you're doubling up, but trust me, no one is ever going to say, oh, she's doubled up her information, because it looks different, it presents differently, and people will take that differently, that same information.
Yeah, there's different types of readers and skimmers, if you will. So yeah. Thank you all for listening today, and join our 6-week Beyond Booked Out program, because this is just one of many tips that can help accelerate your growth and get you more clients and build your practice out to have a wait list.
Yes, and jump in and grab the toolkit, because I've done it all there for you. The FAQs are all there. So